If you are new to kettlebells, but you believe they could be a solution for you losing weight, getting stronger, really seeing the results that you want to see, this video is going to be for you. Because in the next couple minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down exactly where you should start, what you should focus on, how you should progress, and most of all, the mindset that's needed to make kettlebell training a simple, efficient style of getting in the best shape of your life and doing it in a way where you can maintain it long term. Now, before I get into that, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Coach Grant. I co-founded a system called the Kettlebell Transformation System, and it's a system that helps guys all over the world get strong, lose weight, and most of all, feel in control of their health using very simple systems around kettlebell training, personalized nutrition, and coaching and accountability to make sure that guys stick with it long enough so they can see the changes that they want to see. And so the stuff that I'm about to go over, I just know from personal experience that it works. And so in this presentation, I call it my New to Kettlebells Kettlebell Training Starter Guide. And so for those of you who are new and you're coming into kettlebell training and you're wondering where to start, your mindset right off the bat has to be that your foundation is your technique. Above anything else, above getting stronger, above building your endurance, losing weight, losing body fat percentage, all of those things can only happen if your technique is perfect. Because the ultimate goal of working out and training is to be able to do it consistently, be able to do it week in and week out. And when your technique is off, or you're not 100% confident that you're doing things the right way, number one, you can't progress. You can't move on to heavier and heavier weights. Number two, you put yourself at risk for injury. And all of those things put you in a disadvantage to actually seeing the results that you want to see. And so when you come into this kettlebell training world, you got to make sure, like, I'm going to spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks just making sure my technique is right before I worry too much about using heavier bells or doing more reps or anything. Now, beyond that, we've got a level system, the way that we view kettlebell training from a exercise selection standpoint. There's simple levels to it. So we got level 1, level 2, level 3. And so when you come in, you should focus on level 1 for at least 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even longer, just to make sure that you have the foundation of kettlebells down and you have a foundation of strength that's actually going to serve you when you go to the more advanced exercises. And so for level 1, you're looking at 2-hand swings, kettlebell swings, Turkish get-ups, which is one that a lot of guys don't do consistently, and then goblet squats. And so our guys will focus on those exercises for 4 months, for 6 months before they even worry about anything else. Now, from a kettlebell perspective, then you start to transition to one-hand swings, cleans, front squats, and then you move to snatches, presses, clean and jerks, to more advanced movements. And so the way we look at it long term, we just look at it from a pyramid perspective of each of these exercises will build off of one another. And so your foundation of technique and strength and endurance in your 2-hand swing and your get up is going to serve your ability to maximize the results that you would get from doing 1-hand swings or cleans or snatches or jerks. Because you're just able to, once you build a big foundation of strength, you're able to use a little bit heavier bells and able to squeeze just a little bit better juice out of the more advanced exercises. Rather than guys, only using 20 to 30 pound bells for all of these exercises at once. That's why we look at this from a level perspective and from a foundation perspective. And the other thing to think about too is that as you progress from level 1 to level 2, level 3, you're always going to keep level 1 skills as a part of your program somehow. You're never going to not focus on the skills that you've learned previously, because it just compounds and builds a toolbox that you're able to use over and over again for the rest of your life. Now, when you're thinking about how do I structure my workouts, what should I focus on first? After I feel like my technique is dialed in, then what should I focus on? So there's 3 methods that we think about. Number 1 is going up in weight, aka getting stronger, right? Going from a 16 kg bell to a 20 kg bell to a 24 kg bell, 30 pounds, 44 pounds, 53 pounds, right? So systematically over time, getting objectively stronger than what you were 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. Method number 2, after you start to build some strength, is doing more reps. And you could think about that in a couple different ways. You could think about doing more reps for each individual set, going from doing a set of 10 swings to a set of 15 to a set of 20. Or you can think about it in terms of doing more reps for each workout. So maybe in the first workout, you do 100 reps, and then 4 weeks down the line, you're doing 160, 180, or 200 total reps. And so you get stronger first, then you build a little bit of endurance capacity by doing more reps. And then method 3 is the idea of taking less rest, which means that you're just trying to decrease the amount of time it takes to do the same amount of work. So doing 100 swings in 10 minutes versus doing 100 swings in 5 minutes. And my key note here is that I would take this one method at a time. So you start with, one exercise, one rep range, and then you'd focus on method 1, right? Which would be having a moderate bell and a heavier bell. And you systematically go from doing all of your reps with your moderate bell to doing all of your reps with your heavier bell. And so examples of this in real life would look like this. So a programming example, let's just say, we're talking about doing kettlebell swings. So method number 1 would be, okay, if I'm working out either 2 days a week or 3 days a week or 4 days a week, however many days a week you deem you can work out, you're doing 100 total reps, 100 total swings, 10 sets of 10 in your workouts. And you're going to go objectively from using the 24 kg bell, which is 53 pounds for every rep, to the 32 kg bell, which is 70 pounds for all the reps. And you would probably do that systematically over time. You would layer in more and more sets of the 70-pound bell over the course of 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long you wanted to extend that out. And I've got more videos on this channel that kind of showcase the programming method and how you can think about piecing together each day. Now, method number 2 would be the idea of going from 100 reps to 200 reps, right? Say you're going from doing 10 sets of 10 with the 32 kg bell, basically at the end of method 1. So you do 10 sets of 10 with a 32 kg bell to doing 20 sets of 10 with a 32 kg. And you might do that over the course of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, however long you push the programming out long term. And then method number 3 is the idea of shortening the time frame, right? So you might do 10 sets of 10 in 20 minutes. That's basically doing 10 swings every 2 minutes to doing 10 sets of 10 in 10 minutes, which is 10 swings every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. And so that's what we think about in terms of density, right? How much work do you get done in a specific amount of time? And so, like I said, I would take this one method at a time. And always one of the biggest questions I get is, what about work to rest? How do I think about that? Well, during the first 2 phases, method 1, method 2, I would almost not look at the clock. Don't even worry about timing. As long as you're not taking more than 2 minutes or so per set, you're not being lazy. You don't have to worry about the clock. You just want to hit your reps, get stronger, build your base of endurance and strength. And then method number 3 is where you can start to think about timing. Like, how do I reduce the amount of time it takes me to do this workout? Now, where should you think about reps? Where do you start with reps? So this is not concrete. This is not set in stone, but this is a cool way to think about it, right? So for each big exercise, swing, get up, clean, press, squat, snatch, these are the rep ranges that I would focus on. You can go from anywhere from 100 to 200 reps with a swing, 3 to 10 get ups on each side, 25 to 75 clean presses, 25 to 50 squats, and 100 to 200 snatch reps. But like I said, this you can be flexible with these, but it's a good starting point when you're thinking about how many reps should I do in my workout and where do I even start? You know what exercises to start with, so how many should I do and how should I break them up? Now, the other thing to think about is strength milestones. So if your first thing you're focused on is level 1, which is the swing and the Turkish get up, the one thing you should note is that your swing bell is probably going to be heavier than your Turkish get up bell. And it's okay. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 bells higher than that. But good first milestones for guys, like the biggest one, is being able to do 2 hand swings with at least a 70-pound bell or heavier. Say you do sets of 10, not worrying about timing or how many, but you can do sets of 10 solid reps with the 32 kg, which is 70 pounds or heavier. And you want to be able to do get-ups with at least the 24 kg. And if you really wanted to build a foundation of strength, getting to doing singles on each side with the 32 kg. And for most guys, it will take 3 to 6 months. So a lot of guys in our program, they will hit it in 4 months. They'll hit those baseline level strength in 4 months. Some guys can hit it in 3. For others, it takes a little bit longer, 5 months, 6 months. But I can also tell you from experience that is a foundation of strength and baseline endurance that will change your life. Being able to do swings and get-ups pretty easily with a 70-pound bell or heavier. And general notes around this in terms of what you should be thinking about when you're putting together these training sessions. I would say you want to aim to train consistently 3 to 4 days a week. You want to focus on level 1 skills until you can go up 4 bell sizes in each method. So for instance, if you start with a 20 kg for your swings, well, bells go up in size in 4 kg increments. So you go to the 24, you would go to the 28, you go to the 32, you go to the 36, and potentially the 40, and that's 4 bell sizes. And so I would stay in 4 kg jumps for 4 jumps in method 1 before I worried too much about method 2. And method 2, you might go back down, 8 kg, 12 kg, and then start the process of building your total reps over time. And then you'd want to go up 4 kg sizes at a time there as well. You're making 4 kg jumps and weights, like I said. Big thing here, don't rush. You have a lifetime to get the results that you want from a training perspective. Your key is that you got to do something consistently. One of the biggest issues that guys run into is that they're not consistent. They don't have a plan that they can lay out 3 or 4 days a week that they feel confident in, that they know, okay, if I do this stuff and I rinse and repeat over the course of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 6 years, 12 years, etc., that they feel confident they're going to get where they want to go. Each method that I talked about, level 1, 2, and 3, it's going to take 6 to 12 weeks or more to be able to go up from one bell to the next, or to go up 2, 3, 4 bell sizes. And so this process takes a long time. But the key here is that you're getting the results that you want as you're progressing through the kettlebell training, the strength results, the strength milestones, the endurance milestones. You're also seeing the results you want to see on the body comp front, because all of that is driven by nutrition, general activity, sleep, things like that. And the last thing I'll say, this is the big one. You got to accept that your progress is never going to feel linear, ever. Some days you'll feel stronger than ever. Some days you're going to feel like shit. Some days you're going to feel weak. The bells are going to feel heavy, but neither of them are the absolute truth. And the key for guys is that you just have to keep going. You might show up on a Wednesday one week and the bells feel heavier than you ever thought possible. And you might show up on a Monday the next week and the bells feel lighter than you ever thought. Point is that you keep going. The point is that you keep showing up. The point is that you keep following a roadmap and, just being consistent on a week by week basis, because when you do that, guys can unlock any result they're after. And the biggest thing around maintaining the results you're after is feeling confident that feeling confident in the system that you're following, feeling confident that what you're doing is actually producing the results you want and actually enjoying it. And in my experience working with hundreds of guys from all over the world, when they feel like they are constantly making progress, they enjoy it. And when you enjoy it, you never quit. You never want to stop. You kind of get addicted to wanting to continue to show up and do it week in and week out. And I think that's one of the biggest things that guys run into when they start a program and fall off. It's because either they don't really believe that the program is going to take them where they want to go, or they don't actually enjoy it. And that can be a slippery slope and a recipe for guys starting and stopping and never finding the consistency that they want to find. And so if you're looking at starting kettlebells, this is how we think about this from a high level perspective, where you should start focusing on your technique, the exercises you should choose, how do you progress, what methods should you follow, how do you think about putting programs together. This is exactly how we think about it. And if you're a guy, if you're a guy who doesn't want to do all this on your own, you know kettlebells could be the answer, but you also don't want to have to figure all this out on your own because you're busy, you're growing a business, focused on your career, you've got young kids, then make sure you click the link below this video and check out our Kettlebell Transformation Coaching Program, because in that program, we do all this stuff for you. We put it all into a custom app where everything is your workouts, your nutrition, your daily habits, everything's done for you. You can just pop that app open, you can just exit off, check it off. And if you get done with that stuff during the day, you're on track to reach the goals you have. And we provide guys with the one-on-one coaching and accountability and support to help them stay consistent. Because like I said, I think the consistency factor is the biggest piece that guys run into. So either way, I hope you got some value out of this presentation. I hope it's something that can really help when you're thinking about putting together programs and just getting started with kettlebell training as a whole. And with that being said, I hope you crush it, and I'll see y'all in the next vid.